What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to the Horny Goat, and welcome to the Monday Night War Wrestling Memories. Now, I know that we did in Wrestling Memories on my channel, we actually did a review and essentially talked about the actual Monday Night War that was produced and put together by WWE. What we are going to do is something different, and it's something that I've always wanted to do because actually during this time I was in my drunken stupor or I was deployed at the time. So I didn't get to watch some of this. So some of this stuff that we're going to see, I have not seen before. The first episode is WCW Monday Nitro, September 4th, 1995, the night the wars actually began. But really, the real heart of the battle happened in 1996 when, and we'll get to that.
When certain surprises happened.
Can I chime in for just a second? Does anybody else think that JP reminds them of their history teacher in high school?
Oh my God.
You sound so dedicated, JP. Continue.
I love this shit, though.
I mean, me too, but you sound like a history teacher, and I like it.
Little background. It's gonna be slow starting. I promise you. You're gonna look at this stuff and you're gonna be like,
why were they fighting?
This is exactly what WWE does today, and you are going to see a lot of that here. But you have to watch in order to understand the concept. To help you understand, please go watch 83 Weeks, done by Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson. Watch Bruce Pritchard and Something to Wrestle With, because they talk somewhat about this stuff. And then please go check out What Happened When with Tony Schiavone, Glass Bottom Boat Ride. Because I'm telling you, you will understand and you get both sides of the story. You just don't get WWE's version that the Monday Night Wars give you, even though that was done very well. You get Eric Bischoff's thoughts and what his thinking was.
Not only that, it goes a bit more in depth because there's certain things that were forgotten. They had to go back and actually watch the shows, and it'll click a memory.
Yep. So with me tonight, I have Bobbitt, who used to do the shows with me on Wrestling Memories, Trek, who also did the shows with me, and I think Gina was there for a couple of them, and I don't know if Basement ever did a Wrestling Memories with me, but they're all here tonight. We're going to sit down, we're going to do a watch-along, and we're starting from zeros. So when we start the show, you are going to be watching along. We'll be reacting to it and talking about what we're seeing. So this is the very first Monday Nitro, which happened in the Mall of America in Minneapolis. And I actually took a picture of the veranda where it actually took place. So do you guys have any opening statements or anything that you want to talk about?
I do.
Go ahead.
All right. So I'm actually really excited to do this. I remembered the Monday Night Wars, but I kind of joined in a bit late, and I was always a WWE guy, so I didn't really see too much of the WCW side of it. So revisiting it now, especially now that I look at wrestling through a different light than I used to when I was younger, I'm excited to see exactly what happens and how I would react to it with a more critical mindset that I have now versus what I had before, where it was just pure entertainment, and I like this guy because I like this guy. Right. Now I'm gonna actually take a look at the booking and all that stuff. So yep. I'm excited to see it.
Yep, I am too.
And Gina, this is the first time you're seeing anything WCW, right?
Aside from that awesome fucking pay-per-view that JP made me sit through that night, yes.
You're gonna end up watching it again because we are going to do all of the pay-per-views as well.
Oh my God, I hate you so much right now, but I love you.
It'll be exciting, and we might play a couple of drinking games along the way. So,
oh God,
Ric Flair moves, man. Get ready. Ric Flair moves. Glass bottom boat ride. I'm gonna be saying I can't get that out of my fucking. So anyway, are we ready to start?
Let's do this. Let's
Yes.
fucking do this, baby. You gotta come with emotion, JP.
I'm excited.
Welcome to the horny go. You gotta be like, we're the horny go, bitch. We're ready to fucking jack off on each other.
Well,
Wait,
if you
what?
Sorry.
I'm not gonna jack off on anybody. But...
I'm ready for the glacier year.
Well, I might later. But anyway. Are you guys ready for this? I am like Basement. I am excited to watch this. I actually lived through this, but like I said, some of these I missed because I was either drunk or deployed. What's that?
Here's the real question.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
No, JP.
All right.
Are you ready?
I am fucking ready. Gotta remember, I got an 8-month-old in the house. God damn it.
All right, let's do this.
Ready? In 3, 2, 1, play.
It's already the best thing I've ever seen.
Oh God, I can tell already that I'm just gonna.
I do like how they opened. This is their original. How they opened this, and this concept that they had, WWE actually stole it, made it better.
Yeah.
So much explosions.
Somebody must have took a horrible shit because that manhole cover exploded.
Hey, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Also known as the worst place on the planet.
Hey, it's the best place in. No, it's really not. It's the worst place.
Eric Bischoff is the executive producer for this show, but he was also the lead commentator.
Why is there Santa Claus?
Steve Mongo McMichael.
Oh my God, this guy in the green shirt in the background is killing me.
Hey, doggy.
Doggy.
Am I watching the same show?
I don't see a dog, Basement. What the fuck are
He
you
doesn't have the dog yet.
Well, I might have made mistakes.
Mistakes were made.
Do you want me to pause? Pause.
Wait,
Pause.
What? Huh?
Where are you at?
Where am I? Oh, I am super future. Oh,
Oh
God.
my God, Basement.
I'm in December.
All right, everybody pause on 3, 2,
He's
1.
in December.
What timestamp are you guys?
I'm at 1:37.
1 minute 25 seconds.
Jesus fuck.
Oh my God! Stop. What time are you at, Gina? 1 minute 37 seconds.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. I gotta catch. You were going for 16 seconds.
I pushed play when you guys did.
No, you're good.
I pushed play on the wrong show. So.
All right.
My
so
bad.
So do you want me to go back or? Are you
Nope.
just
I'm
gonna
at
play
Nope.
137. I'm at
You're
137.
good right there.
Just go ahead and play up until minute and 37 seconds, Basement. You're fine.
I'm at a minute 37. I'm where I need to be.
Okay. All right. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Wait.
Look at that
Go.
mustache. on
Press
the
it
left.
again. Press it again.
Sailor mustache.
Oh my God.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Just give it a second. Hit play.
All right. I'm at
Now you're
145
behind us.
now because.
Oh
I'm
my
at
God.
155.
I gotta. Oh my God. The network.
Here we do. Restart. Everybody restart back to zeros.
Yeah. Go.
Okay.
Let's do
It's
that.
just gonna be easier that way.
Sorry,
I
guys.
do apologize to the
N-
bro.
well-
It's a work in
well-
progress.
Well, between you and the fucking
The network
itself,
reset itself. They did their update, and all of a sudden you press pause and then press play again, or it just.
Whatever.
Okay.
False start. That's what
So
they
are
do
we
in
all
the
at
Olympics.
zeros?
No, because
I'm
Heather
at-
is trying to figure something.
fighting with this goddamn thing.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't help that he can see.
Well, yeah.
Give me the fucking controller.
We're all at pause at 0, so just let us know when you get it.
I need to shit.
All right, I'm at 0.
WWE
At
updated
0.
their fucking networking. God damn
In
it.
3, 2, 1, go. Again, sorry about that. Network updated, and somehow it fucks shit up. They're a bunch of assholes. But whatever.
I hate this fucking new update because it takes forever to load, and
The streetlights exploded.
it's just ridiculous.
This is WCW Nitro, produced by Michael Bay.
Pretty much, yeah.
10,000 lakes, all of them equally boring.
Pretty much.
They
Had them
each
all
come with
over.
5,000 mosquitoes. It sucks.
No, 10,000 lakes, and 8,000 of them are Twin Cities and North.
Green shirt in the back, Gina. Talk about him.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, like he looks familiar.
He has this face to him. He looks like he starred in the movie Jaws.
Roy Scheider.
Eric Bischoff looks so young and fuckable.
I mean, I don't know about that.
And then here comes Bobby the Brain fucking Heenan.
Look at the fucking clothes, man.
He just needs. I don't know. Fucking Steve Mongo McMichael.
I feel like he should be wearing a tie
Right?
Bow tie.
or anything.
They
Fuck.
start the show off. The very first show is Jushin Thunder Liger, and I can't remember who he wrestles.
Brian Pillman.
This is
Right,
actually
no.
really cool. They know.
Brian.
If you've ever been to the Mall, well, Gina, you've been to the Mall of America before,
Yes,
have you
I
not?
have been to the Mall of America.
It's huge.
Yeah, and this is, well, I mean, obviously it's been updated since then, but this is like right in the middle where they used to have all the entertainment come in.
There's a
Mhm.
store in the background that just sells flags.
Yes.
Yep.
They have like I don't even know how many stores, but they have a store for everything.
Ridiculous. Yeah, there's so many stores there. I remember when the Backstreet Boys came to this place. It was right around the same time, actually, and like that, this place was just ridiculously overpacked with teenage girls.
Didn't Hulk
Sounds
Hogan
like
have
my
his
kind of
pasta
place.
restaurant here?
Wait, I might go to jail.
Didn't he have his what?
Pasta restaurant.
I don't remember.
Flying Brian Pillman.
Flying Brian Pillman.
God, I haven't seen Brian Pillman. I mean, obviously he's dead now, but God, last time I seen him was with the whole Stone Cold thing where he was at his house.
Yeah. And shot each other with guns.
Which we will see that in this. That is part of this
Watch.
war.
Cool. Ooh,
Jushin Thunder Liger. If I remember correctly, this is actually Chris Jericho.
Body-wise, he looks like Chris Jericho.
Because he was the original, if I remember correctly, and Mark, don't quote me, he's the original Jushin Thunder Liger.
wait, who was?
Chris Jericho.
Let's see if you can pinpoint like his in-ring moves.
You know what though? When he just did that backflip off of the freaking thing, he did it the exact same way that Chris Jericho
Lion
does
salt.
the lion salt.
Let's see if he actually is Chris Jericho. I'm going to say no. I'm actually going to say yes 100%.
I'm going to say no, but I'm going to say yes 100%.
That way I can't be wrong.
Some of the Steiner math.
Bloomingdale's to Macy's and
But I
back.
thought like Jushin Liger, I thought that he was always an Asian dude.
Nope.
No.
No, he was whoever he needed to be.
He always
He was
wrestled
kind of
in
like
New
Tiger
Japan.
Mask then.
Well, that was a
Oh,
fuck
that
up.
was
That was
Oh, Botch City.
10 out
drink.
of 10.
I'm just kidding.
Drink, JP. Slurp it down.
If you haven't, me and Basement did Starrcade and Six Pack. It was Starrcade 83. We got shit faced.
It'll be uploaded
Faces
tomorrow.
coach.
Yep, that will be live the 27th of July.
Well, by the time
Tomorrow.
this goes live, this will be after.
7 o'clock at night.
Right.
So, what you're saying makes no sense. Okay, who you guys got to win? I'm going with Brian
I'm
Pillman.
going with Jushin.
I think Brian Pillman wins this match, if I remember correctly.
This is 110% Chris Jericho.
It's Chris Jericho.
Surfboard? Is he gonna surfboard?
Yep.
Yeah, damn
It's
right.
Chris Jericho.
Where the big boys play.
This is before he was a big boy.
I mean,
He
this
was
back when
he
could
was
bench press.
220 pounds then.
I mean, he's always kind of been around the same. He just got a little.
Hey, he's
older.
just got the dad bod going on now.
Fucking grandfather bod. The guy's like
Yeah,
7,000 years old.
No,
He's
he
a couple of
looks like
years. He's just a couple of years younger than me, I think.
I was gonna say.
Well,
he
you know
only
what?
looks
Did you
like
see his
1,000
most
years.
recent picture? Jericho? The guy's like.
He,
turned
well, he's
around.
drinking all the fucking time because of
Well,
the
no,
band.
he's like super in shape for his age right now.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he is, man.
No,
Did you see
he
the most
was
recent
just.
pictures?
No,
He has
he
got
was
a
just
gut.
at AEW at that last pay-per-view, and he looked awful.
Yeah, but between that and today, he somehow has become super good.
It hasn't even been a month, Basement. How the fuck?
It's happened though.
I don't.
Chris Jericho is 2 years older than me. Just throwing that out.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of lost his body when he started touring with Ozzy because, like, apparently they like to drink. They're a rock band.
You mean Fozzy, not Ozzy?
Did I say fuzzy? No. Wait.
Okay, you know what? The best thing you could do is just not talk anymore.
Did I say Ozzy? I thought I said Fozzy.
I don't know
Sorry.
what you said. but
Whatever.
I
I'm
accept it
fucking
regardless.
tired,
of
and
I
I
knew what
feel
you were
better.
talking about. That's the main thing.
Fuck up. So shut up.
I wish
I was trying to look at the little kid.
Trying to help me.
Brian Pillman, man.
His son. Sorry.
I don't care about his son.
I love his son.
Whatever.
I'm
So
not like that either. I just think he's a good wrestler.
I think Brian Pillman was a great much better than what he was actually used as.
when he was with Steve Austin, as the Hollywood Blondes, I think in WCW.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
I saw one match with those two, and I was like, "What the fuck? This is not film."
This is not what I remember.
Well, Steve Austin was really he was a very good technical wrestler.
Mhm.
Yeah, his style changed and it worked well with his nice dropkick.
WWE changed him because they wanted him to be somebody that beat the shit out of people. It wasn't. There was really no one set move set
Well,
for him.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong though, but like, wasn't it kind of accidental?
Well,
that
he got injured and
stumbled?
he had to kind of change to a brawler.
Yeah, but like, wasn't it kind of like not accidental, but like he was the one that came up with the Stone Cold character and like pitched it?
I'm sure he had his hands in it because he was so sold on it and did it like excellently that I can't believe they were just like, this is what we're gonna do with you. Go with it.
No, what brought it on was before that he was the ringmaster.
Yeah, he was a ringmaster in WWF, and he went up to Vince and he said, I'm just wearing black tights. If you just have me, I can go with anybody that you have in this company. But if you just have me, and he said it in the Monday Night War thing, if you have me just come out and not say anything, you're tying my hands. I have no character.
Yeah.
But for all those people out there that will shit on John Cena for the 5 moves of doom, really, did Stone Cold have more than 5 moves of doom?
No.
Stone Cold had like 2.
No, he had more than 2.
He had the thing is how he delivered his moves. So you look at somebody like Randy Orton, he has a basic move set, but it's how he delivers them. He delivers moves in character.
Yep.
And Stone Cold did that as well.
Well, and I wonder if like a character like Stone Cold, if he would have become as popular. Oh, Brian Brian Pillman got it.
Brian Pillman wins with a roll up.
But like, I wonder if he would have become as popular if he would have came along in like the John Cena PG era, you know, because like
I think his character, regardless of his in-ring, would have skyrocketed him.
but you
Like
know what
he's
the
much
thing
better
is,
in-ring than Hogan, and Hogan got
Right.
along with like 3 moves.
right? But the reason why I say that is because like I think part of the reason why his character hit so much was because of that kind of rebellion of the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if they would have like if he would have came along, let's say, I don't know, let's say like 2005, would his character have still had the same mark?
I would say his character would have always succeeded, no matter even if it happened today. But I feel like the impact his character had he had so much impact with his character because it was like best time, right thing at the right time to like they kind of capitalized on what was going on. They had Sting without his.
Oh my God, he was young.
Surfer Sting.
I like the purple. He looks like he's fucking crazy, but I like it.
Sting was always.
Can you imagine like being on those escalators and going, "Ooh, wrestling"?
I don't know.
Today, if they were to do this, I guarantee it. If they were to do a show here today, somebody would do something stupid, like jumping off the fucking escalator.
No, somebody would throw like a fucking Coke bottle from the top.
Yep.
Look how young Eric Bischoff is.
Well, the thing is,
Holy
like,
fuck.
They wouldn't be able to do that simply because of security reasons. Like, I mean, think about it. A 5-year-old little boy got thrown off the fucking balcony just walking with his mom.
Do a flip. Yeah, that was not good, but it happened. I feel like Eric Bischoff, you could like you could bounce a quarter off his ass.
I mean, but why? He had a really nice head of hair.
He still does.
He still does.
Just, like,
I
it
love
looks
his
like it's
silver
fake,
hair.
kind of.
Yeah, I love his silver hair. It looks like a little toupee.
I always felt Hulk Hogan's like, how can you live like this when
Right?
you like always jacked up on something?
Coked out of his fucking gorge.
He sleeps 12 hours a day just to be this like,
oh my God.
Tense.
I know we're doing a retro review right now, but did you guys happen to catch that thing with Booker T?
Yeah.
From this past Monday.
When he's still coming for you.
Oh my God.
Background. He looks
Why?
like this.
Why is there a random store in the background selling flags?
Yeah, well, that's
it's the flag store, Bobbit. It's still there. Like, they sell flags from all over the world.
I feel like they added an L.
Do they sell the gay pride flag? Huh?
Actually, yeah, they do.
Okay,
so
good.
in that case, they just sell fags.
Oh my God, you're fired. You're fired. You're so fired.
Well, it was nice knowing you folks. We'll see you in 3 months.
Right.
You just sell piles of sticks.
They may.
I hate you.
They may.
They may.
Oh God, Claire move.
Oh God.
Look it up, JP.
I don't understand how this guy's got so much poo-tang back in the day.
I
don't find him attractive.
Oh, this is Sting versus Ric Flair.
It's a weird booking to have that on second, but you know.
But here is one key thing. This match, there is something that happens in this match that.
Spoilers, man.
Just shut up.
Now I'm expecting something to happen.
You'll see.
The flag store.
That's like telling us, oh, hey, guys, at the end of the next Marvel movie, something happens.
Fuck Marvel Comics.
There's a train store, too, I see in the background.
Yeah, they've updated all of that since the...
I feel like I could see Sting coming from like 18,000 miles away.
I like it. He's sparkly.
He looks like the galaxy.
I like it.
So, Tina,
yes.
So you live in the mall. How fucking big is this mall, really?
It's
huge.
Heather and JP have been there as well.
It's
gonna be huge.
Bobby, I'd say that JP. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'd say that it's about 10 city blocks long.
10 city blocks?
I would go that far, Gina.
We got square one
It's
here. That's like it started as
roughly.
a square 1
I mean,
mile.
if you include the parking lot and all of that, JP, it's about 10 city blocks long.
It's
That's-
bigger. There he is. Lex
Luger looks like
Luger.
like, serve me dinner. And
Lex,
dating.
the thing about Lex Luger is that the night before this show, because this is live, the night before this show, Lex Luger was in WWE.
What do you feel about his hair? Like
Nice.
that's a solid mullet.
I hate mullets, so fuck his hair.
I hate Lex Luger.
How big?
Hold on, I'm gonna Google right now exactly how big the Mall of America is because I'm counting with the parking lot and everything.
Oh, with the park. Well, the
I
parking.
bet you it's the same size as Square One, which is the mall near me. That's
You can fit You can fit a football, like 2 football stadiums inside of that place. I do know that.
Bobbitt, let's put it this way: they have Nickelodeon Universe inside of it, plus the freaking underwater world, plus a shit ton of stores and restaurants. Okay, so the Mall of America has a gross area of 4,870,000 square feet, or 452,000 meters squared for our Canadian friends.
4 million square feet?
It is 96.4 acres, enough to fit 7 Yankee stadiums inside.
God damn.
Good God.
That's not a lot.
Not a lot. Fuck you.
And here I thought the Haynes Mall in Winston-Salem was big because
okay, so Square
it's
One,
the only big mall that I've been to. This fucking completely annihilates it.
Square One, which is close to me, is like 2.5 million square feet. So it's about double that, which is ridiculous. I wish they had referees still wear bow ties.
Where are you guys at? Timestamp.
1732.
It's all right. Keep going.
Same place.
That what's up? Hello.
1748.
Stupid.
Ric Flair wearing his Hulk Hogan attire.
I hate that. It just reset on me, but it's fine. It's whatever. It is what it is.
Okay, we'll spoil the match for you, like you did.
No, you're good.
I've seen it already.
Sting just got poked in the eyes by Ric Flair.
Yeah, so you're a little bit behind from where I am because that's past.
It's the finger poke-a-doo. Run.
Right, so I'll move ahead.
There has been at least 10 Ric Flair matches.
Right now, Ric Flair is punching fucking Sting, and Sting's fucking going Hulk Hogan.
Out.
Yep. There's so much Ric Flair move happening.
I just drink.
Just constant.
I mean, I feel like these tights make Sting's ass look like as if he's wearing adult diapers.
Isn't that what all women like?
No.
He's like the Kim Kardashian of man ass.
I mean, he does have a pretty nice ass, though.
Now, this Monday Nitro is building to Fall Brawl, which is War Games. They did War Games. I think War Games is here.
That's the hardest. Oh, never mind. I thought he was going to put him on the apron.
Oh, yeah. Look at me.
God, Sting is so young.
Oh, yeah. He was a baby during that.
He's in his 30s.
He was so, like, youthful and baby-like.
He's in his 30s.
This was prior to him, like, looking like he had a, massive pro moment.
It's really windy outside.
Well, his neck also worked, too.
It's true.
He could look left and right. Somehow Ric Flair still looks like he's 700 years old, but whatever. I love him.
That was all the drugs and alcohol he drank back then.
Yeah. Well, he was
always
had
had like grandfather body, but like muscular grandfather.
I don't understand how this motherfucker is still alive. He was in 7 plane crashes.
Oh, commercial break.
Because he's Ric fucking Flair.
Well, everybody, like, I can't remember what I was watching, but everybody all the superstars were saying that they're always afraid to get on a plane with Ric Flair.
He is definitely putting his fingers in his asshole.
I mean, what?
What's your timestamp, guys? I'm sorry.
2030.
Okay.
Do you want us to pause, JB?
No, keep going. It's fine. You're good.
Has Ric Flair ever had hip surgery?
I don't think so, but he had been involved in 2 plane crashes. Oh, here comes Arn Anderson.
Oh God, that's Arn Anderson?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's so useful.
Useful or youthful?
Well, both.
That's saying that old people can't be useful.
No, just not Arn Anderson.
So mean to him.
I'm kidding. No, he looks very youthful.
I hate his jump suit.
Everybody wore tracksuit back then.
Yeah, that was.
That was the fashion back then, Gina.
Now, if I was to ask everybody, where do you think Ric Flair is from? What would you say?
Minnesota.
Shut the fuck up! God damn it, Trek. You're not allowed to fucking talk anymore. Jackass.
Yeah,
that's why. Well, if you know, you don't say anything.
I feel like he should be from Las Vegas.
That's the better answer. Thank you, Basement.
He actually is from Minneapolis. I think. Or he's in
I always thought he was from Charlotte.
No.
He's
from Minnesota.
Well, Trek ruined that joke, man.
Well, there was really no joke. I was literally...
I knew Ric Flair was from Minnesota, too.
Well, if you know, next time I ask a question like that, you know the answer. Trek, don't fucking answer.
I don't know the answer to anything, so guess I'll always be able to answer. This is a pretty good match.
It's Ric Flair and Sting.
So how come when you Google him...
He waited on that.
How come when you Google him, like, everything says that he was born in Memphis, Tennessee?
Because he was, but he was raised in Minneapolis.
But he's not from Minneapolis. He's from Tennessee.
Yes,
because
listen.
We can't adopt your mindset of you're from Louisiana, though you spent 7 seconds there.
Yeah, he was sold on the black market.
Mm-hmm. He was sold on the black market. This is something that Ronnie actually found. His birth name is actually Fred. And he was sold on the black market as a baby.
Sting is a gigantic ass.
He is 260 pounds.
You're welcome for me pointing that out, and now you're staring at his ass, Basement.
He said...
It wasn't Gina this time.
All right, so his birth name was believed to be Fred Phillips. Although on different documents, he is also credited as Fred DeMare or Stewart, while his biological parents were Luther and Olive Phillips. He was adopted at the time of his adoption, arranged through the Tennessee Children's Home Society as part of Georgia Chan's baby kidnapping operation.
Why is this allowed?
His adopted father, Dr. Fleer,
Arn,
completing a residency. Okay, wait. So he was kidnapped as a baby? So how come he was never had to go back to his parents?
He was kidnapped and sold on the black market as a baby.
Shit. Oh, his family settled in Edina, Minnesota.
What the fuck is happening? He was kidnapped and sold as a black baby?
Yes. It's on a black market.
He was sold on the black market. It was an underground
baby purchasing?
No, it was Georgia Tan's baby kidnapping operation. Like, she would kidnap babies and sell them under the radar.
Right. I'm going to have to go take a Zack Xavier Jr.
Okay, so Georgia Tan was an American child trafficker who operated the Tennessee Children's Home Society. So, like, He was put up for adoption through the Tennessee Children's Home Society, but he was actually adopted illegally.
Oh, Scott Norton.
Who's
Scott
that?
Norton, former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. This guy was a legit badass.
Oh, wow. He legitimately was sold on the black market. I just hit that. So interesting.
Is it? Oh, here's Macho Man Randy Savage. Because I'm Macho Man. Yeah, I just gonna fucking destroy your ass, you fucking cocksucker. Snap into a Slim Jim.
Beat me.
What the fuck is happening? I walked away for 2 seconds and now we got Macho Man.
It was the first episode of Nitro. It was all fucking insane.
They were trying to build a storyline. They're trying to build
Is that Lance
storylines.
Storm?
What's that?
No, never mind. From the back, it looked like Lance Storm, but it's not. Never mind.
Who is
Lance
this guy?
Storm
Mojo
wasn't
Rawley?
in WCW yet.
He was still ECW at this point, wasn't he?
Yes, he was still in ECW. Nope, they got Sabu though.
Oh
Shit,
yeah.
I never knew Sabu was part of early day WCW.
Not for very long.
He
Eric
wonder
Bischoff.
why.
Eric Bischoff did not like him.
No, he scared the crap out of Bischoff.
Well, Bischoff didn't like his style of wrestling. Plus, WCW had standards and practices. Like they
So,
couldn't bleed, they couldn't juice or anything like that.
Not gonna lie, I missed everything that just happened because I was reading about Ric Flair and his black market baby.
They're just building Macho Man. They're just building storylines. So you'll pick up on it next week. Essentially, Macho Man Scott Norton
Hello?
came out and said, I don't even know because you couldn't even fucking hear him because whatever. And then
He's basically saying asking Mongo if he thinks he's a tough guy and take him on. And all that.
oh yeah, then Macho Man came out and got in his face. So it's probably gonna get Macho Man versus Scott Norton at Fall Brawl. And then there's Mean Gene Okerlund.
With his definitely 70s style glasses.
He looks
And
like
Mike-
a 70s game show host.
Mike Hill from Cullman, Alabama just won a Harley Davidson. Holy shit.
Oh, did?
What
Well,
kind of
shoot me
day
with a
is
tail of feathers. Hey, honey, we're gonna fuck on a Harley. Yeehaw!
I can't fucking take
Look
him
at this
anymore.
graphic. Wait, what the fuck is this?
fuck is
It's a video game.
WCW Saturday Night. Yeah, if you've
Why are they
never watched
vibrating?
it's actually that's what I grew up watching. I used to
That was their weekly program.
I liked WCW Saturday Night. I don't know why. I just always enjoyed it. In fact, I loved the Southern style of wrestling. Gina
why do they
hates
have a
it.
mascot?
Who?
Why is there a mascot there?
I see no mascot.
Oh,
Are you
that's
sure
that's
it's
the
not
Nitro
Twins
Cat.
mascot? Are you sure it's not the Twins mascot?
It
No,
could be.
it's not.
No, I
Nitro
mean-
had a mascot.
Yeah.
Oh,
They were catering to the kids.
okay.
Look at this asshole.
Oh, look at this.
Fuck is this
Erwin
asshole?
It's IRS, Erwin R. Shyster.
No,
Mhm.
Mike Wall
He
Street
looks
here.
like.
Oh yeah, this is Mike Wall Street. You're right. Very, very true.
Correct. Does he not look like Bruce Campbell a bit?
Yeah, he does.
Hey, do you know who that is?
No.
It's Bray Wyatt's dad.
This is Bray Wyatt's dad?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Rotunda.
Oh.
He was also all about that big black ass.
Okay. Did you guys see the picture of his baby?
No, I don't
That was
care.
who was it? Somebody shared a picture and said I finally got to meet my godson.
Braun Strowman.
There you go. Braun's holding
It's
this
definitely
little
not
bitty
his
baby.
wife.
No. Braun's holding this tiny little bitty baby, and the baby looks like fucking teeny tiny in his arms. But that baby is fucking adorable.
His bicep is bigger
an
than the
Boss Man.
baby.
Oh, ahead, boss man.
Mm.
When I think of this guy, the only
Big
thing
boss
I think
man.
of is him dragging the Undertaker dragging
Big
Boss
boss.
Man's dad.
This is
Okay.
actually Big Bubba Rogers, not Big Boss Man.
Well, you know what? He's always
You know
Big
what?
Boss Man to me, and
Well,
he will
get
forever
used
be
to it.
chasing the Undertaker.
God damn it, this is WCW, not WWE, all right?
God damn your semantics. Go to the flag store.
Bobbit, what did you say?
I didn't see nothing.
Oh, I thought you said my name. Never mind.
Say my name, say my name.
Is it sad that that was the exact thing that came into my
What?
mind before you started saying that, basement?
No, sad.
Right,
Oh
right.
God, it's Hulkamania, brother.
Oh my God, fucking
Here
kill me.
comes Hulk Hogan. Here comes your favorite,
Hide the
Gina.
black
Hogan
people.
must pose.
I hate
With
this
big gold
guy.
belt.
He was such a walking billboard.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
I mean,
There's
and I don't.
Hulkamania,
Okay,
brother.
here's the thing. I never used to hate Hulk Hogan. I don't know why or
Because
what
he-
happened.
He had
To-
thoughts about black people. That's why a lot of people hated him. I mean, that's why I kind of started hating him. I actually hated him before that.
I
Because
think
he
it
was
was more the
like,
condescending. I started seeing the kind of condescending asshole that he kind of really is. Like, he thought he was just tough shit all the time, and I don't like arrogance like that.
I always felt like I liked him as a kid, but then once I grew up, I was like, the guy is literally terrible and way too featured. He's technically marketing
Well, the thing
personified.
is, like,
Yes.
I never liked him as a wrestler, but I used to watch like Hogan Knows Best all the time,
Yeah.
and that's where I actually like
First problem.
kind of really knew him. I know, right?
These two had quite the feud, and were also
Sleeping with each other.
no, they
Sleeping
weren't.
with the enemy.
They had a feud with, and I can't remember who it was. Bruce Pritchard talked about it, but they had a feud, and Big Boss Man was Hulk Hogan's tag team partner.
So muscly.
Was it Ric Flair? Because I was just reading how Ric Flair apparently had a really big, actual, real life feud with Hogan.
No, they didn't. They were good friends. Whoever
Yeah,
Right
said
now
now?
they are.
Big Boss Man reminds me of Baron Corbin.
Ric Flair is the one that brought Hogan into WCW.
Right.
He
but then
told
they had a
Bischoff
falling out.
he
Read it
did.
up.
No, they didn't have falling out.
Yeah, they did. I was just reading about it.
Who wrote that?
The fucking Ric Flair page
Wikipedia.
that I was just on.
Which anybody could write.
No, it wasn't Wikipedia. I can't remember which one it was. It said like real life, and it wasn't a big thing. It was like they had a falling out for a short time, and then they reconciled and became
You
friends
know,
again.
for having no hair, he touches his hair a lot. Hogan.
Hey,
was-
fellas,
He
this
just like
is
forever.
They're talking about a
bald.
fucking neck curtain.
Yeah, his neck curtain is the right way to
For,
say it.
for JP, what did you think about the movie Mr. Mom?
Say that again.
What did you think about the movie Mr. Mom?
I never seen it.
Basement, did you ever see that one?
I did.
I
I don't
saw it.
remember it right now, but it was terrible, and I loved it.
Oh God, I loved it when I was a kid, but now it's like, oh my God, how did I like?
Hey, fellas, this is the Harley winner, White Colin. Come back at you again. I'm currently fucking my sister on my brand new Harley. Yeah!
God.
That I want to buy a Harley now.
So you can fuck his sister?
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much.
What the fuck was that?
Gina, you talk about the movie with Michael Keaton.
No, what was
It was
Mr.
Hulk Hogan,
Mr. Mom
was
was
Mr.
Hulk
Mom.
Hogan.
No, Mr. Nanny was Hulk Hogan.
That's the one
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Mr.
I
Nanny.
actually was in your mind palace.
Yeah, you
Mr.
have
Mom,
Hogan
that
too?
was Michael Keaton.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much,
That
JP.
also
We
sounds like
already.
a terrible movie. Like, Mr. Mom.
Yeah.
I don't like it. They should remake that nowadays, and it would actually make
I
sense.
actually, yeah, I remember Mr. Mom now with Michael Keaton. I liked that movie when I was a kid too, but Mr. Nanny was the one that I was thinking of.
Mr. Mom, starring
I've never
Ella
seen
Jax.
the only Hulk Hogan movie that I've really ever seen was fucking No Holds Barred.
Wasn't he in Over the Top for a little bit
No,
with
No, it
Stallone?
wasn't.
I thought
No.
he was.
He
thought he was
the
in the
only
arm
movie
wrestling
that
thing.
he was in Stallone with was Rocky 3.
I
Yeah.
feel like Over the
Okay.
Top might have been one of the most gay movies ever.
I love that movie.
But it was super gay. Like I drive a truck. He drove a truck, right?
Yeah, but
And he went
he
from
What
town
was
to
the
town
Hogan
arm
movie?
wrestling.
What was the Hogan movie where he was an alien that came to Earth
Super
and
Commando.
fucking Undertaker
Urban
and Sid
Commando.
Vicious were bounty hunters after him?
Urban Commando.
Suburban Commando.
Suburban Commando. Excuse the fuck out of me.
I mean,
Right.
Trek's our
Semantics.
residential movie expert,
Okay,
so
he's not Big Boss Man. He's Big Bubba Bada Bada Boo. Shit.
It's Big Bubba Rogers, goddammit.
bada 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 boom.
Jimmy Hart is his fucking manager and shit.
Oh, he's disrobing him.
Unpopular opinion: Jimmy Hart was another one that I could not stand.
Why? Fucking love Jimmy Hart, man.
Yeah, I did enjoy Jimmy Hart as
I
well.
didn't like him. I mean, I enjoy him now, but back when I like first started, I'm talking about like when he kind of switched. Like he would come to WWE every once in a while, and when he did, I just didn't care for him.
I love his pants. I want them.
JP, I could see you running around in those pants. Jesus
With
Christ.
two big stars right on the ass cheeks.
Right? And Basement planting his hands right on those stars.
Yep. I don't even need the stars to be there.
Oh my God, what is he doing? Why is he overselling it? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
that was. a
That's
huge
that's what
oversell
that's
for
what
the
he
book.
did. That's what
I was
he
never a
did.
big fan of Big Boss Man.
Oh my
be honest.
God. I've never seen anything outside of him chasing the Undertaker and his dad's casket.
You saw him
Hey,
get hung.
guys.
No, that was a big show.
Yeah.
This
was a
is
big show.
Hardy
Yeah,
Winter,
that's
Mike
right.
Colin, back with another update. The bike has been destroyed. I kind of said a couple of racist things to a couple of African American gentlemen. So
Stop it.
yeah, I'm now running for my
God.
life. Yeehaw!
You're riding
was
the
nice
Harley
knowing you
right
all.
into prison, and your sister's pregnant with a demon baby.
Yeah, why do I keep on mistaking other people from other people? I'm not thinking tonight. Yes, that was a big show, but Big Boss Man, I remember him from WWE. I don't remember what the fuck segment from though.
Al
Jason
Snow
Rhodes.
and the dog.
Oh,
Is that when
was
he was
awful.
wearing the black tactical
Yes.
tactical shit? Okay, yeah.
He actually
League of
started. He actually started in WCW as Jim Cornette's bouncer or bodyguard.
Okay.
And when he came out with that corrections officer gimmick,
That's
it
Big
was,
Boss Man.
that was part of his real life because he
Yes.
actually used to be a corrections officer.
In fact, he had a feud, and I can't
That was
remember.
terrible,
Chains, I
Uranagi.
think was his name.
Nails.
And I think he was a former inmate of Big Boss Man's.
Huh.
Yep.
Crazy. So
There you go.
if anything tonight, we've established that Gina has a horrible fucking memory because she can't remember who was in a feud with each other.
Oh, here goes Hogan Must Pose.
I mean, Hogan's hair, right? Like it's
It's
not
great.
bald, but it looks so soft.
Well,
Yeah, it does.
Hogan was, I think he was like 45 when this happened.
His hair looks so soft and silky.
I know,
How-
it's like
This is
he's really conditioned for
94.
what he had
He's
last
how old? 95. How old is Hogan? 67.
Why the fuck wouldn't he just buzz the rest of it? Like, I
No,
don't understand.
I like what he's got going on. It's just party in the
I
back,
can't even think of it.
dead
And
in the
nothing
front.
on the top.
So Hogan beats Big Bubba Rogers. Ultimately,
shake his ass.
Ultimately, everybody, what's gonna happen? He just shook
Kamala.
his ass. He just shook his ass. Oh, here they
Kamala-
come.
I don't think Kamala has legs anymore.
No, he doesn't.
Look at
I-
Kevin
it's-
Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan. Come on, Brutus the fucking barber beefcake. That's who's in that mask.
What is this ref? Why is he part of the action?
I love how animated the ref is. He's like,
24-year difference.
come on, get it on. No, let's not.
So if he's 67, he's 43.
Lex Luger's
Hogan
like,
was
"You
about
want
43 during this time.
fucking-"
The
Oh, God.
man.
So they
All
all
the
start
faces
out,
have to come out.
they all start fighting, and now they're gonna separate each other.
No, the faces have to come out to break the faces up.
Ting's
Okay.
like,
Luger's
come
like,
on,
would
Lex
you like the
Luger.
check now?
Let's go to the back. I'll rub oil on you. Let's go
I
rub
will-
oil.
Well, can I
Yeah,
say
like
something?
Chianti with your steak.
Wait, what, JB?
Okay, so the reason Eric Bischoff had these two facing off is if you watched WWE, who replaced Hulk Hogan as the big
Not
star?
him.
It
Lex
was
Luger.
not Bret Hart.
It
The
was
Lex
Lex
Express.
It was Lex Luger
That was a
as
fail.
the American hero for
What?
WWE.
Coming up, more Nitro. Really? I thought it was gonna coming up. Chris Lee knows best.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know what came on after Nitro was over. But
There's usually,
More
like,
Nitro?
so if I remember, the Dungeon of Doom, which is Kevin Sullivan and Brutus the fucking Barber Beefcake, Kamala the Uganda Giant, Kevin Sullivan, and I think the Giant at Fall Brawl. Well, the Giant gets introduced, and it's going to be later. Sorry, I'm spoiling. I'm trying to remember shit.
So liquidy.
Will be against these four.
To fight Hulk Hogan.
Dude, Lex Luger seems to like saying that he was tired of playing with kids. I don't know what he was talking about.
I mean,
he's
why
got
does
that
he
puffy
look?
shirt from Seinfeld.
Why does he look like the guy from Labyrinth?
Because he is the guy from Labyrinth.
But also, like, come on, man. You can't. Labyrinth was so good.
It's definitely David Bowie on steroids.
David Bowie's gigantic penis just hanging out the whole movie.
Mean Gene's getting all.
This is-
Mean Gene's getting
this
all
is,
up in fucking. Look at Mean
Look
Gene.
at his face. Look at his face. He's like, interesting.
You guys do
Look
not
at Mean Gene.
remember fucking.
He's like, I don't know why you guys are yelling at each other. He's like, oh.
You guys do not remember David Bowie's dick
Yes, I do.
No.
from Labyrinth?
I am not.
Rewatch the movie.
I
I'm
have
telling you,
no
it's got
comment.
like, it's the co-star.
I have no comment, Basement, because you're gonna hate me.
I thought, what?
Forever
This
and a
is the Hardy
day.
winner again. I'm now in the hospital. That is all.
You didn't ever watch Labyrinth because she's an asshole. You know.
Dude, after Nitro, they didn't usually show stuff after Nitro like USA would. They just show movies because they used to show like Jason movies and stuff.
And that's when Trek became Trek.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the first time he touched his penis.
Oh my lord.
He played tug of war.
And he always won.
Right
Hulk
in
Hogan.
Miami? Not right outside of it?
Hulk Hogan looked like he was just born. He's got like so much
Placenta.
fucking wetness upon him.
Fucking Macho Man. Stop this shit.
You know what? Like, I kind of hate watching this stuff because you see all these wrestlers that are gone now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah?
I don't like it. I don't like it. Rubber ducky? Oh my god, look at the doggy! Look at the devil! Oh my god, look at him, he's smiling!
The thing that people don't realize is he's watching today's Raw. That's why he's so tired.
Raw was on for an hour as well. This show was only on for 1 hour.
Just winked. The doggy just winked.
Right.
Well, wouldn't you wink? Wouldn't you wink if you had a finger pointing in your eye, too?
That's
That dog looks like if you don't stop pointing at me, I'm going to bite that fucking finger off, you
A little
cocksucker.
spoiler, it's in a different costume every week.
oh my
Yeah.
The
god.
dog
Okay,
was
like
actually like thinking, "I wish euthanasia was an option."
I'm not gonna
Oh.
lie. Now, thanks to that dog, that show went from being a like 4 out of 10 for me all the way up to probably about a 6.
How would you say 4? It was not that bad. The last match was the worst, I would say.
It was bad.
It was bad. Did you see what the Big Boss Man was doing? Or Bubba Bubba
Well, of
Ruppkins
course,
or
of
whatever
course,
his
but-
name is.
Bubba. He was that was the worst match, the last match. But the other matches weren't that bad.
No.
I mean,
The venue was good. There was a dog.
There was
I
a
was
dog. This giant cat walking around.
Right. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the show. I actually that's the first time I've actually watched that show from beginning to end. I started watching it, and that's when I got the idea, you know what? Fuck it. That's what we're going to do for this show, is we're going to watch Monday Nitro and Raw, which is ultimately what we're going to do. Now, next week, we're going to do episode 2 we're going to do a Monday Nitro, and then we're going to do a Raw.
okay, because I was gonna ask, like, I was gonna say, are we not bouncing them back and forth to kind of see how the companies are like how the competition starts going?
Right, but the thing is that WWE did not have a show on this night because it was
Dog show.
no tennis. It
Tennis.
was tennis.
Ah.
Okay,
So,
so let me ask this question.
Yes.
Pillman versus Jushin Chris Jericho.
That was 100% Chris Jericho.
Okay.
So, what do you guys think about that match?
it was all right.
It was okay. I mean, Chris Jericho was. I'm gonna say this. I prefer the Jushin Thunder Liger that is now.
Yes.
I mean, I thought the match was obviously there's no stakes, but I thought that match was maybe the best match of the night, even though it was the first match.
There's a couple of botches.
Well, there was
Sure.
one really bad.
No, there
botch.
was two. There was
I
two.
mean, let's.
So
Just
are you gonna go
consider
for
botches
perfection
during
with every match, or are you just gonna?
No,
I mean, okay, wait.
he was decent.
Who was Jushin Thunder Liger going against again?
Brian Pillman.
Brian.
Yeah, okay, because yeah.
Flying Brian.
I mean, looking at the event as a whole, Brian Pillman was to me the standout in-ring star.
Yeah,
Yes.
he really showcased more of
Well-
his. Like everybody else was more showboating and kind of like overdoing the storyline, which was
Right.
what they were supposed to do. But he was the one that actually showcased his wrestling talent.
I don't know. Flair Sting, they always gave good matches.
I mean, Sting. I like this version of Sting, just simply because I can actually stand looking at his face.
Right.
He doesn't
But you know
remind
what?
me
I
of like
liked the
the
Crow
old
Sting
Crow.
more because I was always a fan of
I
the
still
Crow.
prefer the old Crow version of Sting because that's the iconic one. That's one of the cornerstones for WCW, right?
It
but
becomes
that match
it.
was good. That match would never be bad. Sting versus
Oh,
Ric
no,
Flair,
no.
but you kind of like expect what to get since
Well,
we're at this
back
point where we've
then,
seen the-
back then, anything with Ric Flair was good.
I mean, let me clarify. I like the Crow Sting because, like Basement said, he was iconic or whatever. But I don't like the old Crow Sting. Like when he started getting older and older, and he should have retired,
I
and
get
he
you.
wasn't retiring.
I
That's
get
the
you.
one.
Yep. No, I get you. I enjoyed it. I liked that one, and then I think the Arn Anderson thing and him, the dynamic, I didn't even know that happened. I thought they were building to the Fall Brawl, which is War Games, and they do War Games I think a little differently than the WWE does it, and I could be wrong. But
No, I'm pretty sure you're right because when NXT did it, I remember them saying that there was a different set of rules.
right. Well,
Yeah, they revamped it.
Yeah.
but what you're going to get is Hulk Hogan, Sting, Lex Luger, and Macho Man versus the Dungeon of Doom, ultimately. And I think you're going to get Ric Flair versus Arn Anderson in the one-on-one, I think. Sure. I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see what happens next week. Next
So
week
for me
they're in
personally,
Miami.
though, like for me personally, I absolutely loved the venue. I thought the venue was great.
Yep.
I know it was in a mall, but like it somehow
Mall of
really
America,
worked
baby.
well for me because they showcased the venue a lot in a lot of the shots they took.
Yep.
They
Yeah.
showed the whole like escalators going up. They showed everybody on every floor above. I loved the venue in this one. Match wise, I liked the first match more than anything else. I obviously enjoyed the Ric Flair Sting match. The last match was my least favorite, but I mean they're building towards something. Like they're using the guys that are most popular
Yep.
at the
Well-
time to build towards something, but
Yeah.
they didn't really have the in-ring talent. That's where I sit. Where do you sit?
I
Gina?
mean, with the venue, um, this you got to remember, Mall of America was just built like the year before, like maybe a year or two before
Mm-hmm.
this, because it was, what was it, JP? Like 94,
I
the
think
mall
so.
was built, something like that.
Yep,
So it was still
something like that.
relatively new. And during the 90s, the Mall of America was like the place for not only wrestling, but any like big, if they had big autograph signings for like huge bands or whatever, they would do it in the Mall of America.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was just like the place where you could get the most people into without having to overcharge for tickets or anything like that.
Well, I don't
But,
even think they charged for tickets on this, did they? Because they're
No.
in a
probably
mall.
not.
They did not.
Probably
Uh,
not.
I mean,
Um,
that's might be why I liked it so much because you've got a bunch of people paying attention that didn't have to pay for tickets and just I
And
guess
it
it
was
like
just, you could see
showcased how good wrestling was at the time. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, I cut you off. I was going to say the exact same thing that you said, though. I mean, I think that the crowd really showcased exactly how into wrestling everybody was
Back
during
then,
that time.
back then, wrestling was, and if you look at these older shows, and this is why this is why the hardcore fans are pissed off, so to speak, at wrestling today, and are so excited to get AEW is because, well, we'll see because we haven't seen them do a weekly show. Is wrestling. And if you watch WWE today, because how much of a promo did they do? They did one promo
It's all
set,
in
and then it
ring.
was the fucking very end. They
Yeah,
had backstage essentially with Hogan, but that was it. The promo
and then
thing
everything else was
happened
done
at
in the
the
ring.
end. It happened at the end, and everything else revolved around the wrestling, not the fucking promo. It revolved around the wrestling, and that's what's missing today. They revolve everything around the promo and not the wrestling. They need to revolve it around the wrestling, not the promo.
JP, I will say because of the venue they were using and how they were doing the show,
Mhm.
it had to be that way. Like they didn't have the ability to like they did a backstage segment which was just Hogan at a different place in the mall. But I don't think they had the capability to like focus on backstage shit. During this event, I thought it was basically like a house show. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it was, and that's essentially like you go watch. Wait until you watch Raw. It's essentially a house show.
But you know what,
I
though?
guarantee it.
I loved the way that they did this venue, and I would love to see if it, like when AEW debuts on NXT, or not NXT, TNT. When they debut on TNT, I would love to see them do something similar to where it's a venue like that where it's free
Why?
and people are able to actually enjoy it, because I don't know, it would just be, it seems like AEW is drawing on WCW for a lot of their things already because of Dusty Rhodes and Cody Rhodes, so I feel like it would just be kind of an homage.
I'm going to say this: they better not draw on WCW.
No, there are things that WCW did really well, and they're not necessarily what happens in ring or what happens backstage. The one thing that I absolutely loved about WCW was how they organized the venue, how they organized the pay-per-view. they made it feel special
Mm-hmm.
by kind of making it special, where it was Halloween Havoc had a theme, Bash at the Beach had a theme. They all were very thematic with it, and it helps with the venue being geared towards that.
I
And you
mean,
also had
WWE used to be thematic with their SummerSlam, maybe Survivor Series.
They were thematic for
Um,
almost everything that they did, but I think that I feel like personally WCW was, if I have to recall, like the best, I guess, venues, or I guess the best stage formations, or whatever you want to call it, they were in the forefront, and that's what I
yes.
remember most about WCW, more so than anything else. That's something that they should draw on for AEW.
as you also have to remember, Cody spent a lot because Cody out he knew that this was what he wanted to do before Dusty, long before Dusty passed away.
Mm-hmm.
He knew he wanted to eventually start his own promotion. So he spent
Mm-hmm.
a lot of time discussing these things with his dad, and they did. Like, he's admitted that he discussed what WCW did good, what they did bad. So he knows kind of what
Well,
might work and
I'm
what's not going to work.
gonna say this. You know what Dusty's downfall was?
What's that?
He hot-shotted talent. He would hot-shot talent.
Yeah.
He would push talent like Sting. Sting almost got fucked up because of Dusty Rhodes. Thank God Ric Flair stepped in and said, "No, let's take it easy with this guy. I will make this guy big." Dusty Rhodes hot-shotted talent. That is what scares me a lot about Cody Rhodes.
But I
He
know
has
Cody
so
Rhodes.
much. He has so much of his dad in him. I am afraid he is going to hotshot somebody and it's going to ruin him.
Well, and
But
you
you
can
know
kind of
what?
see it already with the shit that they're pulling at AEW already with the high flying stuff and all that stuff. Sorry,
No,
Mason.
I will say, like, Cody Rhodes might have learned some things from his father, just like all of us do. Um, Mothers, fathers, doesn't matter. Like, we all learned something from the predecessors before us, but at the same time, it's like not only that's not the only person that's in that guy's ear. He is a grown fucking human being. He's listening to his peers. He's listening to his father at the time. He's listening to the audience, and he's trying to come up with a solution. And I think, like, picking and choosing is what we all do to become successful.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of like pick and choose what you're going to follow and disregard the things you won't, because the only way people learn is from learning from the mistakes and the successes of the people before us.
Right.
So, I mean, with AEW, I mean, it's too early in the game to really come to a conclusion. I will say, though, I love the fact that the last AEW promotion had a setup. Of Fighter Fest was kind of a play on that fucking failed um, uh, concert that happened somewhere that I can't remember.
Right.
I don't like the idea of them playing on something that's failed while they're not established enough, like, to kind of have
Yeah,
that
but
social commentary. But I like the idea that they kind of geared the venue
and
towards something special.
not only that, but I think like with Firefest, um, that was a good one to veer it towards because
Topical.
everybody and their uncles knew what fire all about Firefest.
Yeah,
Because I
it was
mean, there's
definitely
Netflix
topical.
specials about it for fuck's sake.
It's definitely topical, but I mean, I don't want to get too off place of where we are. JP,
Yes.
what would you give this out of 10? I know you're not a rating guy,
don't.
but you're gonna have to rate.
I mean, for an opening show with the charisma that they started off with a really good opening match. They start the middle match, yeah. They built the end. The last match wasn't so good. The storytelling is up there because, I mean, Lex, like I said, for Eric Bischoff, he was a shock factor kind of guy. Oh my God, that guy was just on WWE or WWF last night. What is he doing here? So, I mean, for me, seeing that, if I would have I would have fucking like, holy shit, I would have said WWF is invading WCW. If I was, I would probably give it maybe 5 out of 10, maybe a 5.5. I'm
Alright,
I'm a really hard fucking grader when it comes to shows.
I am too, but I guess like putting it in perspective of when it happened and how it happened and what venue they were working with and the limitations they would have in doing it. Trek, what would you give this?
I give it probably a 7 out of 10 because it was short and sweet. I like the matches. It was a good way to start off. Start off Nitro. You start off with, Brian Pillman and Juice's other Liger / Chris Jericho. And we got a good high flying match, which is pretty cool. I love the Flair and Sting match. That was cool. And leading into the future, what we know after with later on down the line, that was pretty cool. They kind of book it into the series like that. The Hogan versus Big Bubba Rogers it was okay. It's a standard Hogan match, but I like what came out of it with Luger and stuff. It was 45 minutes long. They had 3 matches. They had a couple of promos, and it felt like it went faster and it went better than today's kind of stuff.
I will say, like the length of the program was extremely important, and I also like the thing I wasn't thinking about before you said it, that they had that diversity in match type. They really did, because Ric Flair, though people might disagree, I say Ric Flair and Sting wrestled a different type of momentum and wrestling match than Hogan eventually did.
Mm-hmm.
Bobbitt, what do you say out of 10?
He's asleep.
Good talk, Bobbitt.
All right, we're gonna put a question mark for him. Gina?
I'm gonna go with JP, probably about a 5, 5.5.
5. Okay, so 5 for you. I'm gonna go with a 6, a little bit higher than you guys, but not as high as Trek, because it's hard for me to completely like separate myself from the way wrestling is now. But at the same time, I agree with Trek when he says that they gave us a bit of diversity. Though they only had 3 matches, they gave us a diversity in ring in 3 matches. Plus, I very much so enjoyed the venue, and they used wrestling to move the storyline forward.
Yep.
I don't think it could ever be much more than a 6 or a 7 out of 10, just because of it's essentially a glorified house show. But
Right.
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
There will be some shows on here that'll make you go, okay, maybe that was an 8 out of 10. But I don't know. I've never given a TV show like Raw. They'll never get a fucking 8 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10 for me. Even during the Attitude Era, you won't get it. Even the night that fucking Foley wins the title, you'll never get it out of me.
But we're also looking at the pay-per-views, so we have the chance to go higher than a 6 out of 10.
Oh, yes, absolutely. But I can't wait for fucking Sin. God damn it. Motherfucker.
Oh.
That's that pay-per-view that you were talking about. I like I said, I enjoyed it. I might even go at a 6, but I wouldn't go any higher. But yeah, I wouldn't. I'd still probably keep it at a 5, 5.5, just because I'm a very hard grader and I can't take myself out of, like Basement said, today's wrestling. But at least they revolved the storylines around wrestling, not revolved wrestling around the storylines, if that makes sense.
It does, and like the only reason I'm hitting a 6 is because, like, honestly, it's because of the venue. Like, I really like the venue. Like,
Now they're gonna go back. I think
they
they go back to a regular arena this next week.
I'm okay with that, but I mean, the extra point from a 5 to a 6 for me is because of the venue.
Okay, I understand. I get it. The it seemed more. It seemed fresh at the time too. You know what I mean?
Well, you had a bunch of people that didn't pay for the show watching the show, which speaks volume to me.
Yep. Well, I mean, I'm sure there were those people there, but you have people in the mall that like, what the fuck's going on here? Oh man, check this shit the fuck out. These guys are beating the hell out of each other. I mean, that would attract me if I wasn't a wrestling fan.
It's just something you don't see nowadays at all, right?
Yeah. Anybody else got anything? I'm looking forward to getting really deep into this and then really get into the discussion of what happened and how and why. We're gonna get what we're gonna do, and hopefully we can, is gather our own thoughts. Shit, we might even write a fucking book about this shit. I don't fucking know. But hey, just saying. So with that being,
JP's memoir.
if I can fucking remember, I got fucking old timers disease.
I guarantee it'll be filled with mistakes. Writing mistakes. Because holy fuck, man.
Mistakes
Send a
were
tweet
made.
out, I have to decipher it half the time.
Right? Bobby, are you here? Or did you... No, you fell asleep? Okay. That being said, I'm going to end it here. I want to thank everybody for being here, and I hope that you come back next week and we enjoy another episode of Wrestling Memories, the Monday Night Wars, where we will actually do a Monday Night Raw. Well, we'll do a Nitro first because that came on first, and then we'll do a Monday Night Raw. And they're both only an hour, so it's like I think each show's like 45 minutes without commercials. So that being said, thanks guys, and we will talk to you next week on Wrestling Memories.